I'm here at one of my favorite places I like to come to work. Not because I was supposed to be here, but because I wanted to be here. So you might think, oh, well, you just drove over there because you wanted to be there. No, I was going to work. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go in today. I wanted to be here. I imagined myself being here, drinking some champagne, mimosa. It's the reason why I like to be here is because the place that I work, unfortunately, is very loud. It's very loud, and there's an annoying beeping sound that goes off around the clock, and it's so distracting. So I envision myself here. I arrived at work, I got out of the car, and I said, everything is going to happen exactly the way I wanted to today. I said, these people's noise is not bothering me. I don't hear it. I don't hear the beeping sound. They're quiet. I don't hear the beep. I don't hear the people. They're quiet. Soon after that, my boss lets me know, hey, I'm not coming in today. When she doesn't come in, I don't come in. Because we don't even need to be there. And so I said, oh, okay. What do you think I did? I came down here. I don't hear the people. I don't hear the beep. I'm exactly where I wanted to be. Everything happened exactly the way I wanted it to happen. This is just one of the many, 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 many small ways that I get what I want on a daily basis just because I say so. You may ask yourself, well, are you trying to say that you made her call in? I know that when I say I get what I want and things go the way that I want it to go, it shifts the reality. This is my reality. I am the director of my reality. I take complete authority over that. I know that my reality is a mirror of my imagination and what I am putting out. So when I change my imagination, I change what I think about, and I focus on the things that I want, that's what I get. And everything in the environment is waiting to obey my command. That is what I say, that's how I think, and that's why everything in my environment bends to my will. You can take that however you want to take it. I'm making this post because whether people believe me or not, I don't care. I want to help the people who are brave enough to believe.
Jealous people have an identity problem. You cannot be jealous of people if you know who you are and the power you have. So the issue is not what the other person is doing, whether they are deserving or not. There's no reason for you to be jealous over anything you see anyone doing ever. And one of the ways that you know that you're jealous is if you can look at somebody and you say within yourself that they don't deserve what they have. Why is that a concern of yours? Why are you thinking about what other people should have or shouldn't have? They have what they have because they know who they are and they know what they want and they know their power. What you do not have is based on you not being able to operate according to your true desires and having full confidence that you can attain those things regardless of any type of circumstances that may exist. Because the same circumstances that exist in your world are existing in other people's world, and they are still attaining those things. And you may say, well, no, this person didn't go through what I did. But there is somebody in this world who has gone through what you've gone through or has the same circumstances, and they have gotten it. At a certain point, you just need to take accountability for you not having faith in yourself. That's what this is all about. You don't have faith in your own capability. Envy is when you look at somebody and you believe that they have taken or will take something that you deserve. So when you're looking at them saying they don't deserve it, what you really are saying is, I'm upset that they took something or they have attained something that I wanted, or I am afraid that this person will take what I want, as if you can never get it, as if them having it means you'll never have at the core what it is you truly want. And really, it's not even that thing. It's not even that person that you really want. It's the feeling of it. what those feelings are that you will have when you have that. When you really have power and confidence within yourself, you don't have to have any of those things. But you have what you want because you desire them and it make you feel happy. You're not even worried about how it'll look to other people. How will it make you feel to have that? Think about that. How would it make you feel if you had it? Now feel that. See yourself doing that. Visualize this over and over again. That is how you get it. That is how you get it. You don't even have to worry about asking that person, hey, how did you do this? Do you know there's several people who have the same type of career? They did not take the same paths at all. It doesn't matter how they did it. How you're going to get it doesn't matter. Am I saying do it the wrong way? Absolutely not. If you have full confidence that you have it and it is manifesting in your life, the how doesn't matter at all. It's going to present itself. And you will not have had worked for it as hard as those people have worked for it. So if you feel yourself being envious, which is something that most people would not admit to, turn it back on yourself and say, why am I lacking confidence? What is it? What are the feelings that I'm truly in pursuit of? And why do I feel like this outside circumstance prevents me from having that? And why won't I even allow myself to dream about having that thing? Because if you allowed yourself to dream about it and really know inside your heart that it is possible, you'd have it. Most people don't know that I was mentored by a few millionaires. And one of those people is the one who introduced me to visualization and manifestation. And I remember the very first time I did it. We all do it, but this was the first time that I did it intentionally. And I remember laughing to myself because I felt like I was playing make-believe. I didn't really think that much about it. I was just doing it because that's what she said to do. It went on for a long time, longer than I thought. And everything that you see or you may have seen me do so far, I had already visualized, and I had visualized the things that I haven't done in this timeline yet. And I remember the first time, or writing it down, because that's what she said to do, write it down once you see everything. And writing it down and having all these papers laid out in front of me and just being amazed. And I thought, what kind of person would I have to become in order for this to happen? And I believe the only reason why it took as long as it did, this was way back in 2009, is because of my doubt and the belief that it would take a long time. The idea and belief that it would take a long time made it take a long time. Back then, I used to practice speaking a lot. And I remember the church was empty, and I went and stood on the stage, and I gave a whole speech to an empty, dark church. To me, it wasn't empty, it was full of people. And I still remember that moment. Inside, I knew, but I still didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like the me at that time was worthy enough, but I knew that it was my future. I knew that one day I would stand in front of a stage and it wouldn't be empty anymore, it would be full. Ever since then, I had been doing manifestation and I wasn't that good at it. The things would happen, but the only person that would know was me. And I would tell my husband things and he just wasn't into it. And even when the things would happen, he would just say, yeah, I know you told me. It became an obsession of mine to document everything because I just had to prove that I was telling the truth.
and that I wasn't crazy for saying these things would happen, because even if it would take years, it would happen. And I would look over at him and I say, you remember when I said this? I was just in the shower and I was speaking over myself as I usually do. And I was visualizing myself at a certain moment for a certain affirmation that I know that I had seen way back in 2009 and it's fast approaching now. I saw myself and I felt the gratitude, the overwhelming gratitude. And I began to cry in the vision and also in the shower. Because in that moment I realized that it doesn't matter if anybody else believes, because I know, and me knowing is enough. I don't have to write down anything. I don't have to prove anything to anybody, because there's so many moments that I know what I asked for, and it came to me hand delivered exactly the way I asked for it. And inside I just wanted to be able to scream, see, I told you, I told you, I told you. But it was in that moment that I said to myself, I know I am enough. Me and my higher self, God knows. And I'm the only person that needs to know. In that moment, it's just me and God. What anybody else thinks doesn't matter at all. And I just want to tell you, people may look at you crazy, they may laugh at you, but it doesn't matter, because you know, and you are enough. So, wait, let me put my sparkly pillow. Okay, so at the end of the night, I'm opening up mail. Just open up 3 pieces of mail that come to some total of like $7,000. I was dancing at the time I was opening that mail, and I was continuing to dance. I remember in the past I would freak out over bills. I'm telling you, I would freak out over bills and just let it ruin my entire week, 2 week, or whatever, until it was paid. You know, I've never seen a bill that I've gotten that was too big to be dealt with eventually. Whatever bill that was making me mad in 2009, 2012, or whatever, I don't even remember what it was. Even right now, my bills are high. They're a lot higher than the average person, let's put it that way. I stopped complaining about them. I stopped giving them attention and stopped giving them negative energy. I started saying that my bills are effortlessly paid every month, and that is what they are. I ignore those bills. I've been ignoring those bills, and I just pay them whenever I feel like it. It ain't no problem. These bills are paid. They're already paid. You have to be careful about what you complain and vent about. There is a reason why Jesus didn't speak every time people wanted him to speak on something. Do you know that Jesus had the power to curse, destroy, or build, or create anything with his words? There's things that Jesus did not speak on because he knew the power of his words. We don't know the power of our words, and that's why we vent to people and we complain. And we give all this negative focus on things. These are the things that make those problems exist. They make them real. They don't have to be real. My perception is what makes something real. And my perception is what makes something negative. I already know that those bills are paid. You know how? Because I know that I'm a wealthy, wealthy woman. I want you to think about, if you already had exactly what you want, all the money that you wanted, how would you react to a bill? Zero reaction. I am not giving those bills any of my emotions. I don't want to create problems that don't exist. The bills are paid. I know that.
They're not a problem for me now or in my future, because I know what I know about who I am. Not just who I'm going to be, but who I am. I am not speaking about things that I don't want to be a problem. I'm going to say the opposite always. But I already do know, for a matter of fact, that those bills are paid. So I want you to practice this. Say, my bills are paid effortlessly every month. And I want you to start acting like a millionaire. And every time you open that bill, you react to that bill the way a millionaire would.
One easy way to, get started with the types of things that I do, the type of manifestation I do, is just find yourself a quiet place. You may use a weighted blanket or nothing at all. You could just lay in your bed quietly, make sure that nobody comes in, put on your earphones, your headset, or just turn your TV up very loud. Use high frequency music, any music that makes you feel happy and gives you good feelings. You can also do this in the car. Now, disclaimer, when I'm doing it in the car, I put on a music that makes me happy, that makes me feel good inside. It doesn't have to be, meditation music. The purpose is to get you in a high vibrating, happy state. Then you start saying all of the things that you want, things that you can see in your mind. I don't recommend visualizing while you're driving, but speaking those things as though they were. And but when you're in a setting like this, you can, wear a blindfold. You can just make yourself comfortable. The whole point is to just keep yourself from distractions and only have the music there to help put you in the mood. The music is only necessary because music is a vehicle for emotions. So if you're feeling happy, it's easier for you to speak about positive things. And then when you speak about those positive things and you're already feeling happy, boom, it's like a photograph. It's those two things that need to touch like a match and a switch. All you have to do is just strike it. Boom. Now you have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, that communicates to your higher self the most effectively. Because what your higher self is listening for most of all is your heart talk. And when you're feeling emotional any kind of way, if thoughts are coming to your mind and you're having emotions about them, that is what's going to manifest, whether it's good, bad, sinful, whatever. Every bad thing started with a thought first, but every good thing started with a thought too. And that's the reason why it came into being. That is what manifestation is. You don't have to do this on purpose. You're doing it anyway. But I recommend doing it on purpose because that is how you take control of your life. First of all, putting yourself in a happy state. Wouldn't you rather be happy? Okay. I'd rather be happy. So that's why I do that. And outside of that, I like to say what I prefer to happen instead of complaining. Say what you want it to be. The major thing that seals the deal on this is you having complete faith, and it does not matter what it looks like, doesn't matter what the situation currently is. Okay, it's kind of like if you were to tell a child, look at this TV, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch cartoons or what? Is the kid going to say, but wait, there's sports on the TV? So what? Things can change just like that. And that's what I'm telling you. Things can change. It doesn't have to make sense how it happened. It just will happen that way because that's what you manifested. But sometimes that channel sits there for a long time, and I'll tell you the reason why is because of your doubt. Your doubt, your fears and anxieties, and feeling unworthy. So you have to feel worthy. You have to feel confident, and just be completely brainwashed that this is what it is and that's it. Now you have to let it go like a balloon. Let it fly. Can't get it back. Let it go. if it ever comes back to your mind again, start saying things that you want to happen. Don't allow it to start being negative. Let that balloon go. Let that bird fly out of that cage and see ya, because you don't need to dwell on any of that anymore. It's taken care of. It's already taken care of. You understand? So that's all you need to do, and you'll just start seeing things happen. And you can write them down, so you can convince yourself, because you don't need to convince anybody. But those things, when you write it down, you see, it will increase your faith, because in the beginning, a lot of small stuff will happen because you don't have a lot of doubt around the small stuff. But see, you may take a while to realize that you can move the big stuff too. But everybody starts off small. Just like in the gym, you start off with the small weights and you move up with the big ones, right? Okay, well, that's because your manifestation muscle needs to grow. Your faith needs to grow, basically. You need to feel confident that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Okay, let me briefly explain what the higher self is. There is God, who is the creator and source of all things. And his creations are many, many things. And obviously, he made us. Now, we know that the Bible says that we are not this body, that we are eternal beings. The higher self is your eternal being, who you are, who's guiding you. That is you. People see the soul as something that lives within us, and it is and it isn't. So I'm going to use an analogy. So if you're a little girl, you have a Barbie doll. This Barbie doll is representing you, and you are being her. Okay? Everything the Barbie says and does is you, coming from you. If you want Barbie to have a husband, Barbie can have a husband. You go out and get her a husband. When Barbie's husband talks to her, it's still you. You are just showing a different part of your personality through the husband. This is what it means when they say that everybody in your world is just a reflection of you. So whenever people treat you a certain way, it is basically a core fear or anxiety or dislike that you have within yourself about yourself. Because the only thing they're saying to you is stuff that's coming from you. If you wanted to give your Barbie a bully for whatever reason to make her fight, it's still you. That, I know, brings up a lot of questions. Everything that you get in Barbie's world can be moved around. You can buy something else for Barbie. You could take something away at your pleasure, right? Barbie's world isn't real, but Barbie doesn't know that. And everything that is there is for Barbie to have her life, her world, and her experience. And that is what you are going through. Your higher self is just basically your soul. That's you. Your body is what your higher self is representing itself and having itself live in this earth. Just like when Jesus came down, Jesus was in a physical body, but he was also God. Higher self. He's still God. He's still Jesus. He's just representing himself on the earth in order to communicate with us. There is a communication issue between this body and your higher self. You do need to learn how to talk effectively to your higher self so that though your higher self can see everything that you are doing and you are your higher self, so talking to yourself is a very real thing and it's necessary. God can see everything that you're doing, right? But you still talk to him, right? He knows everything. He's still there, but you still talk to him. In the same way, your higher self is basically the thing that's making you do whatever. That's the first part of the foundation that you have to understand. Your higher self is you. and loves you and wants the best for you. Anytime somebody is being mean to you, you need to look within yourself and say, why am I feeling rejected? Because this person is rejecting you, you reject yourself. Why is that? A person doesn't trust you. Why don't I trust myself? Is there anything within me that I find untrustworthy? Look at people as a reflection in your world, and also understand that you have the power to, because you are the higher self, you will have the power to manipulate different things and people in your world. This is all biblical. I'm just explaining it in a different way to help people understand. So if you have questions, let me know. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to give you some manifestation tips that I had to learn the hard way. Number one, when you're manifesting something, let me just give you my example. I assumed that certain things were only capable if you were rich. That led me to believe, okay, if I manifested things that rich people have, I must be rich. So that doesn't work with your higher self. What your higher self will do is just make you have that thing. So let's say if you decided you wanted a Lamborghini and you think, oh, I have to be rich to get a Lamborghini. So now I'm going to be rich. If I put this on my board, my dream board, I'm going to be rich. Well, your higher self will work it out to where somebody just gives you one, or it comes half off, or you're just approved for it and you just get it. Nothing in your economic situation will change. This is something I did for years. You know where it landed me? It landed me basically around a lot of rich people, doing a lot of rich people stuff and not being rich myself. Being able to do things that only rich people do, but my higher self just made it happen, because that's what your higher self does with manifestation. It ignores all circumstance and just gives you what you want. If you want your higher self to make you rich, you literally have to say that. You have to feel that, you have to believe that, you have to ask for a specific number. You have to be very specific, because if you don't, you are just going to get what you want, and that's it. The second tip is, whenever you are manifesting the love of your life, or whatever, your partner, your ideal partner, you have to add that they have the same love language and attachment style you have. Because you will end up with a person that checks all the boxes, but they don't have the same love language you do. So that means you don't feel loved by them. It also means you might end up with a person that checks all the boxes, but they don't want to be around you that much because they are a I need space type of person, and you're in an anxious attachment, or vice versa. So you need to be making sure that you include your love language and attachment style when you're manifesting that. Another tip, one of the things that I say is that I never run out of money. And when I'm ever in a grocery aisle, or when I'm buying things, I'll say, this comes under $200, or I have enough money, whatever it is, I have enough money for it. And it always happens. It always end up exactly where I need it to be. So that's one of the things you can manifest. Never running out of money. I never run out of money. And finally, my last tip is to be around rich people. Because one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't think big. My life, is what I was dreaming of 15 years ago. And here I am, and I'm like, dang it, I wish I would have thought bigger. But I came from a small town. When you come from a small town, you have small town thinking. Then when you get the manifestation, or you quantum leap into your timeline of whatever it is you were envisioning, it's not what you thought it was going to be. Because I'm just laughing at myself, because this who I am, is who I wanted to be. Like the whole thing. I had the blonde hair and everything. The whole thing. 15 years ago, I thought this in this life, the big house and all that, the career, the business, all that, the prestige, I thought all that was the big thing. Now I realize I was thinking way too small. Get around influential rich people. When you see what they're doing and the access they have and all that stuff, then you can see what's possible. You see, and then you can dream bigger. So I hang around rich people for that reason, so that I can envision myself at their level. Get that? So I hope that has helped you. So I'm about to do my manifestation session, and a thought just came to me. You know how there's a stereotype that basically like everybody who's into stuff like manifestation and mental wellness and all that, they're always like so happy seeming and like they are like on something. Well, first of all, it doesn't mean that they are not happy sometimes. People who are like that actually know that they struggle with remaining happy and grateful. So what they're doing is they're not putting on the front. What they're doing is they are being conscious by the hour of how they are vibrating, meaning what state they're in, because they know something that many people don't know. And that is, when you are in a happy state and you maintain that, your brain is optimistic and hopeful and dreams and thinks of only those things that are good. And when you keep that mentality, that is what you experience. So your mentality is your reality. Your mind is your world, meaning your mind creates your world. So if this is not just, please, I know how it sounds. I used to be one of those people that just thought this was just all positive thinking talk. It's not that. It's for real, and there's science behind it, okay? And so if you can maintain that peace and that calm, even if you can't be happy, staying neutral, you could at least ward off the negative thoughts that literally create circumstances for you. Okay? Because the same mind that visualizes positive things also visualizes negative things. And the same mind and tongue that speaks positive things also speaks negative things. Just like you're manifesting the positive, you are manifesting the negative. So when you see those people, know that, or see that as a reminder. Check yourself, keep yourself in that high state. Learn how to maintain that. If you can maintain that, you are in control of your thought processes in your thought life, which are in direct correlation with what you experience on the day-to-day. So I hope that helps you. Those people are not crazy. They're not weirdos. They're not freaks. They are just being conscious of their thinking. And so should you. Say this every morning before you start your day. Repeat after me. Everything works out best case scenario for me. Today is great. All the love I give is reciprocated. Everything goes my way. Everything works in my favor. The rules and restrictions do not apply to me. I receive presidential treatment everywhere I go. When people see me, they see someone they admire and respect. People serve me all day. Money effortlessly appears when I need it.
Everything I want comes into existence in 3 days or less. I meet kind people who serve me. I am kind all day. I am happy all day. I think only positive and good thoughts all day. I increase my wisdom. I am grateful for love, money, and celebrity treatment everywhere I go. I am grateful for being a millionaire. I am grateful that I always have more money than I need, and I cannot help but to receive a lot of money every day of my life. I am making people's lives better all over the world, and I am grateful for the unconditional love from the people I love the most. I love abundance. Abundance loves me. I have abundance just because I exist. I am opening myself up to receive more abundance than I have ever had. I invite the flow of abundance into my life. I allow new levels of abundance in all areas of my life. I am ready to welcome this new abundance. I invite abundance into my life, and I grant the Creator the permission to bring me surprises and miracles. I am in tune with abundance. I'm in tune with the abundant nature of God. I am worthy of God's abundance. Money effortlessly materializes whenever I need it. I cannot stop the abundance from flowing into my life. I am sure that I am vibrating a line with all of my desires. All of my desires are already mine. I am sure that I am receiving this abundance right now, regardless of what my circumstances currently look like. I never run out of money. I am grateful for abundance and wealth. I am grateful for having more than I need. And I cannot help but to receive this abundance from various places every day of my life. I have more resources and wealth than physically possible to spend. Whatever I spend is returned to me tenfold. I love giving because all my giving comes back to me multiplied quickly. It is done. I often talk to people over the years about the power of the mind and how so many of us do not require our minds to think. We don't require our minds to work for us. We are lazy, and whenever we have a problem, most of the time, people will shut down emotionally and not require their brains to do any work. What I learned years ago from a mentor is to treat my mind as an employee, so that if ever I have a problem, my mind is responsible for coming up with an answer quickly. For this reason, I trained my mind to come up with solutions anytime a problem arises. Now, in terms of manifestation, I understand now that the mind is actually your higher self. So, if we look at it in the same way, your higher self, its job is to give you everything that you want. Now, you may think to yourself, this is not the case. But if you think about this experience on Earth, your higher self being like a person playing a Sims game, and the Sim being your body here on Earth, you as the player are representing yourself on the Earth, and you are giving your Sim character everything it needs. That is your job. It is the job of your higher self to give you everything you want and need. And we know that our higher self does this indiscriminately, which means that whether it's good or bad, it allows us to materialize or manifest anything that we want. I used to, when I was a therapist, I used to say that your brain is wired to give you what it wants. So if you want something, your brain is going to go and get that. It's just set up that way on autopilot. With this understanding, I helped people to break loose from the chains of addiction. However, this applies to your higher self. So from this moment forward, don't go to your higher self begging. Go to your higher self instructing and telling yourself exactly what to do. And if you need a template, here's one. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a template, and I'll say, my desire from my heart is, then you fill in the blank. And then I'll say, you must figure this out by, give it a date. Okay. And then we'll finish it off. So you're going to repeat what I say and then fill in what you're saying. And do this anytime you have a problem. My desire from my heart is, you must figure this out by, this is your job and you are responsible for giving this to me. I now claim this as a miracle.
We know that shifting our life is possible. We've seen people do it. Even if you haven't seen anyone close up in life do it, you've seen people on television talk about how they've gone from one type of lifestyle to another. I want to help you to understand how that happens and how you can do that too. So, the brain has something called neuroplasticity. So what that means is, whenever you learn something, it sends an electrical current along the brain, and if you do that certain thing over and over again, it will create a pathway. This is the reason why we have those squiggly lines on our brain. Whenever we learn something new, it creates a new pathway. And the more we practice it, it gets deeply ingrained. And that is how we develop muscle memory and we learn new skills. And so whenever there's something that's already been deeply ingrained and you want to change that, for instance, like a bad habit. If you've done that bad habit several times, that squiggly line is deeply ingrained in your brain. You will have to literally divert your thoughts in order to basically lift that deep groove and create another one. So it's almost like if you were to have a field of grass and you will walk down it every weekend, you know that a pathway will start to form. However, if you stopped walking down that pathway, grass will overgrow it and it will go back to the way it was. Okay, neuroplasticity is the same way within the brain, and that's how you can change your habits and overcome things. In the same way, your life, your reality, and how you're experiencing that is also neuroplastic or like clay. You can mold and shift your life in the same way that you mold and shift your thoughts. However, the reason why a lot of people give up on the things that they want and they don't manifest those things, or they take a long time for those things to appear, is because of the initial resistance. So whenever you're trying to overcome a habit, right, you overcome that habit by doing something over and over again. You didn't develop the habit overnight, and you won't overcome it overnight. So the first few times or several times that you try to stop doing something that's deeply ingrained is going to be resistant. However, over time, it'll get easier and easier until it's completely changed. In the same way, when you try to manifest something in your life and shift your reality, initially, things won't look like it's changed at all. And that discourages people and makes them want to stop. But I want to encourage you to continue to go, but not putting negative energy, like negative focus, like, oh, it'll never happen, or why hasn't it happened, and why does this always happen to me? And don't put that type of attention on it. Only put positive attention. And you also have to detach from it. You have to release it. When you come back to it, you give it positive attention in your mind, and then you release it. This is how your reality starts to shift into something new. And what'll happen is it'll do it subtly, because what you're expecting is to wake up in a brand new house, to wake up in a brand new car, to wake up in a brand new marriage, and the person's sleeping next to you the next day. No, it's going to seem like a series of coincidences that subtly, things just started to work out. That's how it looks. It's not going to be something dramatic. Some things can go quickly, but it's not going to be something that looks weird to you. It's going to feel like, wow, I can't believe this happened. It happened faster than I thought, but it won't seem surreal. Allow yourself to be without the thing for a little while, without getting negative about it, knowing that it's going to be there. Don't say someday, don't say going. It will be there. It is there. It's already completed, okay? But you will see it soon. You have to have that kind of authority. You have to have that kind of authority. If you were talking to your child and you said, you're going to bed at 9 o'clock. I don't care what, to turn the TV off. I don't care what you're doing. 9 o'clock, you better be in that bed. That's the same type of authority I use when I speak to my life and my circumstances. You have to obey me. This is my world, my reality. You are doing what I say to do. And that's the type of authority you need to take with your life.
Avoiding certain people to protect your emotional health is not a weakness, it's wisdom. I used to think like this. Let me ask you something. Can you avoid yourself? No, you cannot. Every day you wake up, you are going to be you. And I'm telling you that running away from these people seems logical. And I do encourage you to get away so that you can focus on clearing out your negative mentality and energy, right? Because that is what is creating those people and those encounters. You do not realize the power that you have been given, the power that you have in this world. Those people are only acting out what your fears are, what your anxieties are. When you clear, how do you know if you've done it, if you've gotten rid of your negativity and you are clear of that negative thinking and speaking pattern that you have? watch everybody around you change. Because when you take away that negative thinking and speaking, and you completely change the way that you think and speak about yourself, and here's the key, you act like it's already done. Your wish has already been fulfilled, and you are now living as that person in that reality. If everything that you are praying for right now, even dealing with the negative stuff, if your wish was fulfilled right now, how would you act? Now, be the way that person would act and feel the way that person would feel right now. Stay within that mindset. Visualize how these people should be treating that person and feel that. How does that feel? Let yourself feel that. Maintain it. Hold on to that, okay? That is what will be. That is what is. As long as you're holding on and you're not allowing your flesh to psych you out of the reality of who you truly are and the way you are, that brings in all of these things into reality for you. If you hold on to that, those people have no choice but to do what you want them to do. I just want to remind you all that you can scour the Bible, you will never find a pre-qualifier for miracles. Jesus just blessed people regardless. The Bible says that God reigns on the just and the unjust. So here's what you need to know. It's not your behavior that is going to guarantee you blessing. We see a lot of good, God-fearing people going to the grave penniless and never ever experiencing any type of abundance. Their greatest treasure is only going to be after the grave. Whereas you see evil people who have lots of things. You think, oh, well, their blessings came from the devil. The only reason why Jesus ever refused a blessing was because of disbelief.
I've noticed since I've pushed people back in my life who were not meant for me, I don't have to.
So we're not going to be matching energies because it's unnecessary. The person is already matching your energy. That's literally what they're doing. They're reflecting the energy that is within you. You didn't give them specifically that energy. It is the energy that you created with your thoughts. It went out, and that is the person that is reflecting it back to you at this moment. It could be anybody, but that's the person who's reflecting it back at you. So they are matching your energy to send it back where it came from. So what you're going to do, instead of running away, because that won't change it, you'll have the same thought patterns and somebody else will bring you that negative energy. You have to change you. You have to change your mentality. Stop thinking negatively. All of those things are coming from you. You get rid of the negative thinking and speaking, then people will be positive towards you. All right, so here's a quote. One thing we leaving in 2023 is showing up for people who never show up for us. This is how we stop that. First, we stop telling that story. Stop telling the story of people never do this, they don't appreciate me, da-da-da. We are only recreating that the more that we put that out there. It's going to come back to us, okay? What people don't know about reaping and sowing is that most people understand and believe and accept the universal belief that what you do will come back to you. But it's not just what you do, it's what you say. And so if you keep telling that story, you will see more instances of it. And also if you keep paying attention to those things, you will see more of it. So whenever you are making a big deal about it and hyper focusing on it, laser focusing on it, it becomes bigger and more frequent. So now we're going to tell a new story. The story is, everywhere I go, people appreciate me. They're nice to me. They're courteous to me and considerate. I never have to worry about people being inconsiderate to me. I remember when people took me for granted, but they don't do that anymore. Whenever I'm in a relationship or dealing with my relatives, they show me honor and respect. They admire me. They never waste my time. They give me their time. They give me their attention. They do nice things for me. Any favors that I do for them comes back to me 100-fold. And I am happy that I have these people in my life, and they are happy to be in mine. They feel blessed to have me, and they never take advantage of me. That's the story we're going to tell. And we are going to see that. We are going to feel that. We're going to release that and embody that. And that is who we are, and that is what is real. And anytime we have any other thoughts or any other sayings that are similar to the old way, we will immediately replace that thought and those words with what the new story is and the new vision is. And that is how we change the course of our reality and treatment with the people in our lives. If you've been wondering what is the point of all this, if you've been going through a season in life where you feel like you have to do a do-over and you feel down about where your life is, listen to this analogy, and I hope that it blesses you. Imagine that you are in an immersive game, similar to a VR game. Every character that is in that game, your personality and your thoughts, all of those character traits and personality quirks that you have are pushed out from you into the gaming system, and they create characters. As different as they may appear, all of these characters are actually different aspects of you. And as you go throughout the game, you're interacting with these characters. Some of them cause you problems, some of them are nice, some of them are monsters. And as you're dealing with them, you are resolving problems and you are learning lessons. And you are winning the game as you grow and become better. You're conquering these people, but in an essence, you're also conquering yourself simultaneously. So in this game, you are essentially battling yourself. And how you win is by ultimately learning to love yourself and those characters. All of those characters reflecting who you are, finding a way to love each and every one of them, from the lovable to the unlovable, knowing that when you show those characters love, you're actually showing love to yourself. And when you find an enemy or someone who is hard to deal with, and you manage to handle them with grace and love and honor, just the same as you would handle anyone else, that is when you ultimately win the game. When you can love an enemy, when you can love someone who is unlovable, someone lazy, someone irritable, someone who just doesn't get it, then you can definitely forgive yourself. And as you embody the purity and the radiance of love, and you embody that, and that is who you are, that is when you have won the game. There is never going to be a time in your life where you feel you have it all figured out and that you are perfect. The key to life is learning how to ultimately accept yourself unconditionally, with all of your flaws, looking at yourself and loving yourself just as you are right now. No matter where you come from, and no matter what your talents and skills may be, understand that ultimately your true expression of your purpose is to be an instrument of love from the inside out.
The people who get the most out of life are the people who care about themselves the most. The people who love themselves the most get the most. If you are not getting what you want, you are allowing your lack of love, your lack of concern for yourself, your fears, anxiety, and doubts to prevent you from getting those things. The more deserving you feel right now as you are, not the future you, but the you right now, the more deserving you feel is determining how soon you get what you want. The people out there you see getting exactly what they want, do they all have the best character? Absolutely not. They are brainwashed into believing that they deserve every bit of it. What you are seeing is a reflection of what you believe you deserve in your relationships, in your career, in everything else. Get rid of any idea that you don't deserve what you want. And any negative thoughts that you have about those things, even about those people, or any fears or doubts, get rid of them, say the opposite, and feel that and know that. And watch the things you want come running to you as fast as they can.
Listen to this short story and it will help you to understand how to get what you want faster. I take care of my dad. He lives with me. He has dementia. And my dad has a lot of anxiety on top of that. So he has a thing about not going into my refrigerator, even though I've told him several times that he is welcome to anything there. He would rather just walk to the dollar store or some convenience store in order to get something that he wants to eat because he doesn't want to ask me. And he doesn't remember that the things that are in the refrigerator are also for him or for me. So he just, instead of asking me for something, he just walks to the store. Many times he'll walk to the store to get something that already is in the refrigerator that belongs to him. He doesn't realize because he has dementia or he forgets often that I buy his food and it's already prepared for him, just waiting for him to ask for it. But instead of asking, because he is timid and he is anxious and he doesn't believe he deserves me helping him with anything, and he's also too proud to ask for anything. So you have pride and also a feeling of not being deserving of help. That makes him go and spend money on things that is already purchased for him. It already has his name on it. And all he has to do is come to my door and ask me. I tell him several times, just come to my door, knock on the door. Give me a call, just ask me. He refuses to ask me for something that I already have given him in an act of love. And this is what people do. And I try to labor to help my father understand why go and spend extra time and money working on something that I've already assigned for you and designated and sanctified and set aside for you to have. And all you need to do is come to me and ask for it. You do not have to work for everything you want. Think about this. There's many bad things that have happened to you. Did you ask for it? Did you work for it? Did you call up somebody and ask for the opportunity for something bad to happen to you? Did you strategize it? No, you didn't. It happened anyway because of the things that are inside of you that manifested in your life. The real monster that you created in 3D because of your fears on the inside, you created those people and those situations. In the same way, those same intentions and desires for good things can happen to you without you ever putting any effort in it whatsoever, because it's already been sitting there and assigned to you. You hear people say, what's for me is for me. People say what's for me is for me, and then they don't come and get it. They want to put time between. They'll say, well, in a few years or someday or whatever. It's you creating the delay. It's you putting a timeline on your blessing when God can get anything to you at any moment. Whether you work for it or not, whether you feel deserving or not, or whether you're scared or not, or you're too proud. It's your pride, it's your fear, it's your anxiety, your frustration, your lack of feeling that you deserve. If my father felt like he deserved to eat what he wanted, if he felt like he was bold enough and that I loved him enough
to give him what he wants, he wouldn't feel like he needs to get up. He is convinced otherwise than what I've told him. So because he is convinced, he will do that and delay himself and refuse himself of good things that I've given to him. Now take that how you want to take it, and I hope that it blesses you.
Everything you see around you is a manifestation of your past. It's something that you wanted. It's not relevant anymore. What you continue to see is what you focus on. So instead of focusing on the things that you don't like about your life, which is keeping you stagnant, the reason why nothing is changing in your reality, stop being aware of what is around you and only be aware of what you want to be around you, as if it's already there. Say, this is in my house. This house is sold. That is in my car. I don't have this car. You say the things that you want to be as if it is already. Only say what you want. Do not acknowledge what you don't want. When you have a dream, you can only see from your perspective, but there's other characters in that dream. All those characters, the nice ones, the mean ones, and the monsters are all you. But you are only seeing from your perspective. In your life, it's the same way. The people around you and the way that they act are a reflection of you. Isn't it interesting that in your dream, you create scenarios where you lose, where you're afraid, where you are powerless, where you are a victim? And I'm telling you that you do the same thing in your waking life. And the reason why that happens is because of the thoughts you have about yourself, that you look for confirmation in the world around you to confirm that's what you are. Now, if you want to have people affirm positive things about you and the world around you to start affirming what you believe about yourself, which is in a positive way, I want you to say these things. I am amazing. I am incredible. I am worthy. I am loved. I am powerful. I am deserving. I am intelligent. And I get what I want. You are the content creator of your life. You are creating. What are you creating? I want you to say this. I am living a life that I never thought possible. I am living a life that I have never thought was possible. Believe that, feel that, accept that. Go on about your day. Don't think about it again. Don't think about anything that you don't like. Only think about living the life that you never thought was possible. Now, start creating with your words and your mind all the things that would be within that life. I am the most positive person that I know. People only have positive intentions towards me, and they only have positive thoughts about me. The thing that I want is mine. I already have it, I had it, I loved it, and it worked out best case scenario for me, exactly the way I wanted it to happen, and nothing stopped it. No one can stop it. No one can get in the way of what I wanted, what I want.
If you would imagine that you are the director of your life and that every person in your life is a character that is under your direction. They have a script, but they're under your direction. How would you direct them? What would you tell them to do? Okay, hypothetically, let's say that's true. Start writing down how you want people to behave and react to you in your life. Start saying it, believing it. Give them a new script and see what happens. If you want something too much or you give it too much attention and you start worrying and fretting about it, that is what pushes it away, right? Okay, so how do you go about visualizing something and speaking positive affirmations over something you feel neutral about when you really want it really bad? Okay, this is how you do it. You speak over it, say exactly what you want, how you want it, where you want it. You visualize yourself doing that exactly the way that you said it. You let yourself feel how you would feel when it actually happens for you. Then you affirm and accept that it's done for you, it's done. So you just start living like it's already done. I have a bed in my house. I don't need to be thinking about my bed, worrying about my bed, asking about my bed, checking my email for my bed. It's at my house. It's a done deal. It's at my house. So I'm not thinking about it. I look forward to seeing it, but I am not worrying about it. So the moment you feel yourself worrying about something, you're doing it wrong. You turn that worry into an affirmation instead. Whatever you're saying to yourself or the negative thought that comes to you, you say the opposite. And I'm a big fan of just saying, oh well. You really like him, but you don't know if he likes you back. Oh well. There's a job you really want. You don't know if you're going to get it. Oh well. There's another job. You staying neutral and not making that thing a focal point, not letting it live in your head, and any time that it comes into your head, turning it into a fantasy that you enjoy rather than you reliving a negative experience that never happened yet. And that's how you allow it to flow freely into your life instead of holding it back because you've put frustration, anger, worry, fretting, and what else in the mix. That's how you do it. Say, oh well. Say, oh well. Oh well. May happen, may not. Oh well. Who cares? Put your mind on something else. Why is it when I really want something, it takes forever to come, but when I really don't care about something, it comes fast? Well, here's the reason. It's because when you don't really care about something, there's no resistance. You're not fretting over it, you're not anxious over it. So it's small and it can come to you freely and it'll pass quickly. However, when you put all those negative emotions in front of something you really want, that slows it down. It's almost like those negative emotions are like a roaring lion, and your goals are trying to tiptoe around that and not be seen and not come near you. But if you have positive and neutral emotions towards the thing that you want, it'll actually come close to you quickly and want to embrace you, right? So that's what's slowing it down. That's what you need to stop. Let's say you have some bills. These are your bills, and you feel bad about that usually when you see a bill. Let's say it's a big bill. Then here is a house. Let's say it's your dream house. You feel happy about that, right? That's something you want. Bills, negative. Dream house, positive, right? But the way that the mirror effect works is if you have these negative emotions, anger, frustration, doubt, fear, all of these guys, if you are feeling those emotions towards a negative thing, it's going to make it come faster to you. It's going to be more disruptive and it's going to be huge in your life. Whereas if you have those negative emotions towards something positive, it'll make it slow down. So this answers your big question, the big question that you have, which is, why is it that the things I really want come to me the slowest? Why is that? So you know what we're going to do? We're going to resize these things. So let's take this bill. We are in control of how we view our problems. We can make a bill this big in our minds, or we can make it this small. And when we make those negative things that we perceive to be negative, which we could reframe and say, hey, well, maybe I can learn something from this. If we reframe it and we take those negative emotions away, maybe we reduce those negative emotions and we replace them with neutrality and peace and serenity, and we're not giving this bill any attention because it's so small, it's insignificant, right? That is going to make it slow down, and it's going to be less disruptive. And then if we take this positive thing, this house, we take these guys and we just get rid of them, we're going to get neutral. Well, if I get this house, well, I'll get it. If it's not for me, it's not for me. I'm neutral. I only want what's for me. That's going to make the house get real friendly and comfortable with us. The next thing you know, we're going to be posting a picture of our new house. One of the most common things that people want to manifest is more money. But there are a few things that you must understand when it comes to manifesting money. First of all, you cannot speak negatively against anything that you are trying to manifest. When I say that anxiety, fear, and doubt are the reasons why people have delayed manifestations, that also includes negative thoughts towards that thing. So, for instance, if you wanted a promotion, if you started to complain about how long it's taking or the people who are in control of that promotion decision, you will inadvertently also delay that promotion because you are speaking negatively about it. And usually people start speaking negatively because of impatience. And this impatience leads them to think negative thoughts, which also creates the experience that they are basically trying to avoid. So if you start to have impatience, you'll complain, you'll see things in your mind going the wrong way, and that's precisely what will happen. The second thing you need to understand is that wealth and abundance comes in many, many ways. You may be expecting a promotion to bring new money, clients to bring new money. You may expect to find new money. Instead, what might happen is you find yourself with discounts. You may find extra cash laying around. You might get too much change, or you might get something free. You see, because while you might expect for your abundance to come a certain way, things seldomly are manifested precisely the way that we want them to be manifested. Usually, because of the intention of our hearts, we are sending a message that we just want more, and more is what is given to us, not in a specific type of package. The third thing I want you to understand is that you have to be grateful for whatever it is you are trying to manifest. I always tell people to pretend that they already have it, assume that they have it, and feel grateful for it. This may be difficult for some people, so to that I say, whatever it is that you want, start with first feeling grateful for what you have. So let's say you want a job that pays $55 an hour. Your current job pays $25 an hour. You need to say, I am grateful for my $25 an hour job. And to take it a step further, you should say why you are grateful. I am grateful for my $25 an hour job because it allows me to buy groceries. I can pay my car note. I can buy the clothes that I want, etc., etc. In showing that gratitude, which is how you manifest positive things, you are putting yourself in a state of mind that will produce more of what it is you're grateful for. So even if you are manifesting money, but let's say you are grateful for the bed that you're sitting in,
you're grateful for the house that you're sitting in. Feel grateful for that. If you can't manifest a feeling of gratitude about your income, maybe you don't have any income, be grateful for whatever it is you're grateful for in the moment. And that is the correct state to be in order to align yourself with what it is you are trying to manifest. So now I'm going to give you a list of things that you can be grateful for. And I want you to listen to high frequency music in a quiet room. And I want you to say all the things that you're grateful for. You can use the list that I'm about to start, but you can also add in things for yourself. Remember, in order to have good and positive things happen to you, you need to stay in a good and positive mood. I cannot stress to you enough that whatever you say and think is what you create. That is a reality that is on the way to you. If you want to stop negative things from happening in your life, you need to be thinking positive and only saying the things that you would prefer to happen with the intent of sending love towards that thing and positive feelings. If you do this, then you will create any positive thing that you want. Start. I am grateful for my house because my house keeps me warm. My house has a room, and my room is peaceful for me. I'm grateful for my car. My car takes me to places I need to go. It takes me to my job. It takes me to the store. I don't have to ask for a ride. I am grateful for that. Thank you for my friends and all the people who check up on me because they make me feel restored, refreshed, and appreciated. Thank you for my job because my job is allowing me the ability to buy groceries, to pay my bills, and to do any other thing that I need to do. Thank you for all of the new experiences I've been having lately. All of these positive experiences have enriched my life, and I'm grateful because it makes me feel like my life is more than just working. Thank you for my clothes, because my clothes allow me to be warm, to go out to the places that I want to go and look how I'd like to look. Thank you for all the love and reciprocation that I have felt throughout this year, because that reciprocation has left me feeling cherished, and I appreciate feeling cherished. And because I am cherished, I know how to cherish others. I am grateful for the awareness that my situation could be far worse than what it is. But I have good things, and I have good people all around me. And as long as I have life, and as long as I have the ability to be grateful, I have access to anything I could possibly want and desire. And thank you for the awareness of this, and the peace and the serenity that I now have in knowing that I can create whatever my heart's desire is, and that God, the universe, and my higher self is happy to provide all of these things for me, because I am worthy, and I have always been worthy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.